I'm Jen.
And I'm Craig, and this is the Knot Project. So this week, what we've learned as part of doing the exercise at 30 Days to Closer, and just through our life experiences this week, we've learned that we're much better together than we are separately. So each one of us brings our own strengths and opportunities to the relationship. And this week in particular, because of the stuff that's going on personally with us, I found that we've really have worked together well, I think. So there's this relationship thing about, there's turtles and skunks, and you remember this one.
Yeah.
So skunks spray first and ask questions later, and turtles just pop in their shell and wait till the danger goes over. So this week, we've actually kind of come together, and she has it sprayed and I have it hidden, but we've worked together in synthesis. So to put a little more finer detail on this, normally when...
I think I sprayed a little.
Okay, so it's okay. Tomato juice and vinegar takes it right out. When dealing with crisis or a situation, I have a tendency to kind of either want to stuff it down or ignore it completely. Jennifer, on the other hand, really likes to hit problems head on. And I think that the synthesis, what that looked like for us, was doing it in small chunks, small measurable chunks that we could really kind of process it together and really kind of walk through it completely together, and not as individuals, but as a married couple. And all of us are going to, through your relationships, are going to encounter, call it whatever it is, road bumps, mountaintop experiences, valleys, troubles and tribulations, whatever label you want to put on it. It's normal to kind of fall back into the way you dealt with them when you were an individual, because we spend so much of our lives becoming who we are, from infants up to adulthood. You learn to deal with things by yourself.
And you don't just magically change once you get married.
So you really have to kind of learn to synthesize really well.
And admit that your spouse has something that's good to bring to the table, that maybe you don't always deal with situations in the best possible way.
Right. So I think that this week was a really good opportunity for us to, in some cases, relearn things that we had learned before and practice some of the exercises that we had this week.
Yeah, so Craig's right. For me, if there's a crisis or a problem, I just will keep attacking it until I feel like I've reached some sort of measurable amount of peace that it can be put to bed, and that I can move on. Whereas Craig's in the past has just not wanted to deal with things at all. And that scared me a lot when we were first married, and still has a tendency, honestly, to scare me when crises come. I'm really terrified that he's just going to go back into that turtle shell. And I think part of the reason that was so terrifying for me is because when he was really struggling with porn, that's what he would go to, and that was his release. And so if I start to see him go back into that shell, I immediately want to just be like, no, please don't go, I need you, I don't want you to leave me, and it totally activates my own abandonment issues. And so, but then also, if I'm just attacking the problem, or constantly bringing it up, two kind of terrible things happen. One, I become really angry and just irritable, and all of that emotion of me trying to fix the problem, which is really my fear, I feel out of control, comes out in all these, just not nice ways, which is, of course, would make him want to retreat into the turtle shell. And then the other thing that happens is that I lose all context for joy and that abundant life that Jesus has for us, even when life isn't perfect and when life is really hard. And so I think it was really good for us to have the challenge this week of recognizing the strength of our spouse, because last night we went out on a date night, and we did go to the symphony, which would not have been my first choice, but it was date night, and I love date night, and we got to go downtown, and it was a beautiful night, and fall is coming. If I had chosen to stay in my own, we're gonna just keep at this problem and not, just stay in this place of hard, because sometimes that's more comfortable for me to just be in that place of hard than to allow myself joy, because joy is an emotion that is really powerful, and he brings that to the table. And so we just really, I just don't want to ignore that. It's really important. There's joy in the symphony. So anyway, we just want to encourage you to just take a step back and look at your spouse and see all of the good things that they could bring to the table. Sometimes we don't call things good unless we have them, but God puts us together, and because we need to be complementary. We are stronger together than we are alone. And so we want to just encourage you guys to continue to pull out the strength of your spouse so that you can live stronger together. So we hope you guys are enjoying the challenges, and that you're doing them, and there's so much grace for when life gets in the way, right? And you can't get it all done. But if you're a few days behind, they're all on notproject.org under the 30 Days to Closer tab. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.